Hello there. If you like truth, you'll like it here. Welcome. Trifling Men and the Women that Make It Easy for Them. Full disclosure, this is not going to be explicitly about love and marriage Huntsville, but I am going to start there. A few weeks ago, during one of Marceau's expected cheating escapades, a young woman, actually a grown woman in her 30s and a mother, decided to pursue a side relationship with Marceau and was shocked and upset that he wanted that side relationship to include a third woman. He wanted a threesome. This was what shocked this woman and made her step away. Not Marceau's actual face and the fact that he looks like an old toothless man named Pete. Not the fact that he's a married man. Not the fact that he is a father, aka sperm donor to 3 children, and it is widely known and showcased on TV. Not the fact that he talks in circles, makes no sense, and is built like a woman named Rosemary, who's well known for her wide hips and the fact that her 8 sons are always in trouble around the neighborhood. How do you think Rosemary, aka Marsauscott, got those wide hips? It was from birthing those bad behind boys. So no, none of those facts. Not him being married, challenged looking in the face area, apparently, allegedly, seemingly toothless, an in-house deadbeat dad, and built like a bottle of dish soap. None of those facts were enough for this woman to maybe seek someone else. It was the fact that he wanted their clandestine, secretive, scandalous affair to include one more hoodrat, and she had decided she would be the only hoodrat in the room. Why? Why did this woman, this mom of actual children, decide and determine that she was worth so little as to only deserve that? Why was she willing to be the side piece to an unattractive, already attached piece of a man, instead of knowing that she deserved so much more? Why do we do that? Why do we do that? Another example pulled from the Love and Marriage Huntsville cesspool is Kimmy. Why did this woman, a relatively attractive, seemingly successful at the time woman, who could have had her own man, decide that the best she could do was someone else's barber husband, who was also shaped like a container of Cool Whip? If the Scott brothers don't have anything else in common, what they do have is interestingly shaped bodies. But why did Kimmy scheme, plan, and plot to get her hands on a man that was already attached to another woman, a part of an existing family, and as round as a frisbee? Surely she didn't do it for his money, because from what I have heard, the bum came to live with her, allegedly. In this case, I think it was more of a self-esteem issue, as Kimmy strikes me as having an incredibly low sense of self. But why was she content to be someone's piece of a woman instead of getting all she deserved? I mean, she did eventually get what she deserved, because her husband turned into someone who treats her like a sex doll and not like a loved and valued spouse. But since that is how she acted to get him, in my opinion, his resulting treatment seems only fair. Still, she was a woman who could have and should have had more. But she was okay to be someone's sneaky link instead of being someone who was treated like she held value. Getting off the Love and Marriage Huntsville gang, let's look at Ashanti. Ashanti is a beautiful, ridiculously talented woman who, at the very grown age of over 40, decided to settle for being a man's baby mama. Now, not just any man, but a man who had already wasted almost a decade of her youth, only to turn around and dump her for another woman, then parade that woman all up and down our TV screens. He asked that woman for a family and to bear him children. And when that woman said she would not do so without a wedding ring, he left her and delivered his seed over to Ashanti, whose standards were apparently much lower. So here she is, a grown woman, walking around with a baby daddy. She's pregnant by a man that has decided, decade after decade, that she is undeserving of a ring, undeserving of a commitment, but that she can have a bit of his sperm and the obligation to raise his child, whether or not he provides the in-home support that child needs, the support that all children need and deserve. Why? 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 I just don't understand. We as women want to call ourselves queens, but we let these men treat us like peasants. They fill our neighborhoods and communities with broken homes and a whole bunch of half-siblings that we hope and pray won't accidentally marry or procreate with each other. In a previous video entitled, Why Baby Mama Makers and Broken Home Creators Are the Worst Menace to Society, I discussed that these broken home creators and baby mama makers are an endemic. An endemic is defined as something, usually relating to a disease, that is regularly occurring within an area or community. It is different from a pandemic, for example, in that a pandemic is a disease occurring over the whole country or the world. These broken home creators are endemic to our communities and our culture. Although baby mama makers are an increasing occurrence, it is still more common to see this in our community amongst our men and women, and it is hurting us. Our low rates of married households and our high rates of single-parent, usually female-led households have disadvantaged us globally, partially resulting in us having some of the lowest rates of income, education, and some of the highest rates of health disparities, in addition to some of the highest rates of crimes committed against us by us, as well as within our communities. But that's what happens when fathers are not in the homes they created, and when moms are trying to do it all. And even then, that's just the result. What actually originates these adverse life outcomes begins much earlier. And where does the downward decline begin? Well, it begins when our women accept absolute nothingness from absolute nothing men. It begins when bottom barrel men offer us bottom barrel options and we accept it wholeheartedly. That's where our demise starts, and it affects and even transcends lifespans and generations. And we won't have better, not for ourselves, not for our children, not for our communities, and not for our culture, until we demand better. And let me just say this and get it out of the way. For the record, no, it's not just us. It's not just Black women or even Hispanic women who settle for being side pieces and baby mamas. Julia Roberts is one of the more well-known former side pieces. For those who need a refresher, Julia Roberts was allegedly a side piece to her current husband until she bulldozed his first marriage and wife at that time, and, to make a long story short, eventually got the man. So there are others. Of course. But I want so much better for us. The question is, why don't we want that for ourselves? Why aren't we running from and avoiding at all costs these broken home and broken family facilitators who are single-handedly destroying our communities? Why don't we treat them like the deadly diseases, the incurable life-destroying fungi that they are? Instead, we treat them like men. We actually call them men, though we've never seen them act like one. But why would they have to? When they see, we'll settle for less. In fact, we will settle for less than less, if that's all we feel we can get. As an example, Kimmy Scott comes to mind, as does Ashanti. And y'all know Martell's gutter rat is a fixture on this list. And add to that the woman who sought to be Marceau's newest suspected side piece. Why do we feel that's all we can get? Why is having a man, any old man, some sort of life achievement we must check off our list, as if it's some sort of life goal, like a quest mission to Mars, or a bucket list item? Listen, nothing's wrong with having a man, if it's a man you have. But I guarantee you, being single and at peace is so much better than accepting a piece of a man on layaway that steals your joy, your edges, your vitality, your youth, and your womb. Now you've got diseases, debt, and a bunch of children scattered around, hoping they don't produce one-eyed, three-toed offspring because they've accidentally hooked up with their half-sibling. Women, let's stop settling for less than what we and our legacies deserve. Let's stop making it easy for these trifling men to be, well, trifling. Let's stop giving these men our time, attention, wombs, and communities to ravage at random. We all deserve better, and our communities won't heal until we act like we do. All right, y'all. That's it, and that's all. Hello there. If you like truth, you'll like it here. Welcome. If you don't, or if you believe in groupthink or bullying others into believing the popular opinion, then this isn't the place for you. So go ahead and just cancel me now. On this channel, we don't discuss my truth or your truth. We discuss the truth, and no topic is off limits. So, log in, like, subscribe, get comfy, and comment. It's nice to have you here. So let's talk.